I went in 2001 to Australia, to Sydney, and while I was there, I happened on an Ashtanga yoga class. And so I went in and we were just continuously breathing and moving. And I was thinking to myself, at some point we're going to stop. We're going to stop because this is really doing me in. And yet we did, we kept on going. So by the end of it, I was flat out on the ground. But I came out of that room a completely different person.
All of our anatomy actually begins with yoga in a literal sense in terms of union. Like, male, female, sperm, egg, and then everything evolves from that joining together.
It's an exploration of yourself and you kind of have to be a little bit brave.
For me, yoga has been a way of processing my inner world, and it's been a way of finding a more positive relationship with everything outside me to everything inside me.
For me, yoga is about a process of evolution, of kind of opening yourself up, first physically and then into the deeper, more subtle aspects.
Krishnamacharya is the founder of modern day yoga. As we know, everyone wouldn't be practicing a lot of the yoga we do today if it wasn't for Krishnamacharya. He was living in the caves in northern India with his teacher, and after 7 or 8 years he said to his teacher, "What do I do now?" And his teacher said to him, "Now you go and take a family. So you take this yoga and you take it out to the real world being the world of relationship."
It's called yoga practice because what you're practicing for is life. I can find grace and stillness on the mat, but can I be that person with my wife, with my children, with everyone else that I'm in relationship with? Often we get caught off guard and we lose it, but we know that we can always return to our yoga mat and re-establish the foundation, the security, the support to be able to then take that back out into relationship.
Teaching at Stillpoint Yoga London is very influenced by the traditional teachings of Pattabhi Jois, who was the guru who with his teacher Krishnamacharya, formed the basis of Ashtanga Vinyasa Yoga. Pattabhi Jois taught in India, in Mysore, most of his life. As the Western students started to come with different bodies, with different types of outlook, it created a different pathway.
It enables you to go further in every other aspect of your life than you thought that you could do. So there's like a line that I think we often go to, and sometimes we're scared to cross it. And I think in Ashtanga Yoga, you can find that line and then you move beyond it, and then you find that can resonate in kind of every other aspect of your life.
It's kind of this thing where the deeper you get into it, it's harder and harder to get out of.
I went and did my teacher training with John Scott in 2008, and it was on that course that I met Oscar. We became very close quite quickly, and it was a lovely brother and sister thing. She said, "I want to ask you a question. I want to ask you if I could teach with you." And I said, "Yeah, I'd love you to, but the only place we can do it is London Bridge."
I don't think people realise that there is this particular community in the centre of London.
When I first meet people, how early I get up might come up. The fact that I do it 5 or 6 days a week might again come up. And initially I think people think you're slightly insane, but I think the more you get to know people, the more they can see the effect that it has on you as a person.
Doing yoga any time is good, but the most effective time is first thing in the morning, for sure.
Sometimes you can't imagine that you're going to be able to complete the practice, but you surprise yourself every day of what you're able to do, and then that sets you off in a completely different mindset, sort of physically, emotionally, spiritually, for the rest of the day.
Practice starts here and continues when you leave. The point of Ashtanga Yoga self-practice, Mysore self-practice, it's about you creating a practice for yourself that you own, that you can fit in your life. It's not about anyone else, it's about you becoming responsible for your own yoga practice. And that can be as dynamic as it needs to be.
Scott, and I genuinely, Scott is the best yoga teacher I've ever had. His insight, his integrity, his wisdom is incredible, and he seems to really understand on an individual level where you're at, what you need, and how to just really give you guidance to discover the practice for yourself.
Oz, every year, she would go to Kerala at Christmas. And last year, she was there. I got a text from her boyfriend, Marcus, and that text changed my life. She fell over, hit her head, went into a coma. It became almost like a roller coaster for the next month, because 3 days later, she died. And it was almost like I went into okay, what needs to happen? I went into just a seeing, a following where this path took me. It was a very profound time because the students lost a teacher and I lost a colleague and a sister. And that's why there's such a community spirit here, because we went through such a time together as we've seen the side of life that can be seen to be negative, and yet something from negativity comes, something so beautiful has come, which is this sense of energy of this place and this connection. This wouldn't be here if it wasn't for her. The energy of the space wouldn't be here if it wasn't for her. She was still part of it. She always still is a part of it.
Yoga in one word? Fun.
Contentment.
I think it's just happiness, really, and love. Yeah. Reviving.
It's a relationship. It's pure relationship.
Yoga's a gift. I do believe that. Like, I feel like it's a little gift that's given to me. That's like, there you go, you know, use it. Yeah.